I got another Google offer just to prove it's not luck. Here's the Amazon offer, and here's the Google team matching offer. So in this video, I'm going to go over the exact cold email templates that got me into Google. I'm literally just going to give them to you for free. And I'm going to go over the exact resume template that got me into Google as well as Amazon. So first, a little bit of context as to why I didn't even need these offers. So I'm actually the one that created the machine learning section of NeetCode. NeetCode's actually a friend and a colleague of mine. And if you click this link over here, GPT Learning Hub, this is actually my company where I teach AI and machine learning. This is my other YouTube channel. And so I didn't need this Google offer at all. I don't actually work in big tech anymore, but just for fun, just to see if I still had the interview skills, just to see that it's really not luck, I decided to kind of reapply and, just shoot my shot. And I did end up actually getting the offer, which I ended up declining. And so I know what you're doing right now. You're probably just applying on this GitHub repo over here, the classic Simplify repo, maybe Handshake. And maybe you're trying to get referrals whenever possible, but all you're really doing is mass applying on this Simplify GitHub repo, and it's not working. You're not getting interviews. And so how do you actually get interviews? It comes down to two things: optimizing your resume and cold emailing recruiters. I'm talking about going directly into their inbox, shooting your shot with the recruiter. And yeah, I'm just going to straight up go through everything you need to know about cold email and fixing your resume. So with cold email, I actually have this full 13-page guide on cold email. It's completely free. I'm not trying to sell you anything here. Just leave a comment if you want access to this guide. But one of the most important things in cold email is the actual template that you use, right? And so I've got templates for if you're looking for internships, new grad, early career. Let's look at new grad, right? Because if you're watching this video, you're probably a new grad and you're trying to get an offer in the Bay, Seattle, New York City, and you're literally just going through this GitHub repo over here. And so you say, hey, first name, I noticed you recruit for engineering at Google, and I'm especially interested in, whatever, back-end roles. And you say, I'm a new grad from maybe Georgia Tech, Madison, wherever you go to school, seeking an early career software engineering role. Couple quick highlights, and then you drop the most impressive bullet points from your resume. And once I get to the resume part of this video, I'm going to teach you how to actually pick what bullet points to even include, right? And you say, hey, if you're the right contact, could you point me to the best rec to apply it to, or the right recruiter for this roles? This one is huge. A lot of times when you're cold emailing recruiters, you might not email the right recruiter for your region of the country just on accident, but the recruiter can actually just forward your email to the right recruiter. And a lot of times they are totally willing to do that. So that's something you should definitely ask for in your cold emails. And you say, yo, I've attached my resume as well. You can just include it as a PDF. Thank you so much. Pretty straightforward, right? But you might be wondering how to actually get these recruiter emails, right? So there's a free Chrome extension called Apollo, which is going to do that for you. I've already got Apollo installed. You just go to the Chrome Web Store and install it. And what you do is you go to Google's LinkedIn page, like the official company page on LinkedIn, and you just type in something like early talent, university recruiter, something like that. And when you do that, a ton of recruiters are going to pop up. Let's just pick, this recruiter over here, for example. I've already opened her profile. And she's clearly an early career recruiter at Google, probably recruiting new grad software engineers. And so we can click this Apollo button over here. Again, if you have the Apollo extension installed, you'll get this button over here. And we can literally find her work email and her personal email, which is awesome. And just a side note, don't email their personal email. That's a little creepy. Just stick to their work email. And now you have their email address, and now you have the template. So the only real last thing you need is your resume. The resume is so crucial. You need to optimize your resume or you're not going to get past ATS. And cold email is definitely not going to work if your resume sucks, because as you can see here, the main thing that the recruiter is going to evaluate when determining whether to even give you a chance is your resume, right? So I'm going to literally just go through every section of this resume and explain the justification behind everything. This is the same resume template that got me into Amazon and Google. And I also run a community where I mentor students and new grads to get into tech, really land big tech offers. And this is the same template we use for all of our students. So first things first, you'll notice that the titles are all of the same, really all the same thing: software engineer, software engineer, software engineer. This is probably the most important thing you need to fix on your resume. I review resumes pretty much all day, every day in the community that I run, and I see people make this mistake all the time. right? People have a full stack developer as one title, then backend engineer, then research assistant. That is completely garbage. You need to change your titles to all just say software engineer, software engineer, software engineer. That is going to get you more interviews. And the reason for that is because ATS will specifically scan your resume to see if you have previous work experience with the same title as the job you're applying for. So let's say you're applying for a software engineering role and you have previous work experience on your resume as a full stack developer. ATS just completely ignores that because ATS doesn't know that full stack developer is like the same thing as a software engineer, right? So you're shooting yourself in the foot before you even really get a chance to have your resume seen by a recruiter, all because your titles are incorrect. And even once a recruiter looks at your resume, recruiters also prefer if all your titles are the same. It really makes your work history look more cohesive and more kind of streamlined. I know that sounds kind of fluffy, like that sounds like BS. like these recruiters should ideally know that full stack development is the same thing as a software engineer, but for some reason they don't. So just change all the titles on your resume to say software engineer, and I promise you that it will help. The next thing you'll notice here is this skills section is dense. Like there are a ton of keywords in the skills section over here. And I'm just gonna give it to you straight. A lot of other YouTubers are afraid to say this, but I'm always just gonna keep it real with you. You do need to, kind of fluff up your technical skills section with more keywords. The reason for that is because ATS is specifically looking for certain keywords on your resume. Companies do genuinely like auto scan resumes with certain algorithms before the resume is ever seen by a recruiter. That's a real thing. And so to get past those scans, just add as many keywords as you can. Again, a lot of other YouTubers are afraid to say this because it's kind of controversial, but I just want to, on this channel, I'm just committed to giving you the advice. It's actually going to get you interviews and offers. And so my one disclaimer is don't add something you've never even heard of. Make sure you're at least vaguely familiar with the tool or technology before you add it to your resume. And the final thing that I really want to emphasize about this resume and what you really need to do if you want to get into big tech is you've got to go ahead and have quantitative impact like percentages and metrics in nearly every single bullet point. It's okay if you miss it in like one or two bullet points. You can see this one here and this one here. There's no like metrics or impact, but you need to have it in like 80% of your bullet points. The reason for that is because recruiters will literally skim past and just ignore any bullet point if there's no metrics or impact in it. So you really want to be putting this in as many bullet points as possible. Stuff like improved search accuracy by 20%, system throughput by 30%, end-to-end response accuracy by 30%. You got to have these in as many bullet points as possible. And again, recruiters literally will skip past a bullet point on your resume. They'll pretend like it's not even there if you don't have metrics. So you're basically wasting space on your resume if you have a bullet point without a metric. You've got to go ahead and put this in like every single bullet point. And a lot of people are like kind of confused on how to actually do this, right? Because maybe they didn't measure the exact accuracy or throughput in their previous experience, right? So the secret sauce is that you can just make it up. I'm not even kidding here. Now, obviously, it needs to be reasonable. It needs to be believable. It needs to be something that you could reasonably explain just in case you ever get asked about it in a behavioral interview. But it's okay. It's totally fine to just give a rough estimate. You can even put the, the tilde sign, which means like approximately, if you really want to be safe. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. Just come up with a rough estimate that is reasonable. It's like an educated guess. If you do that for every single bullet point on your resume, I promise you will get more interviews. Again, this is literally what got me into Amazon and Google. So there's the proof. I know that this works. And if you're looking to get one-on-one guidance from me and my entire team of FANG engineers, we'll literally work with you on your resume, your cold emails, mock interviews, everything you need to get a big tech offer. If you want to work with us in like a one-on-one mentorship, click that link below and just book a call with me and we can see if it's fit for you. And we actually guarantee that you get a big tech offer by the end of our mentorship. And if for some reason you don't, then you get a 100% refund. So you either get a big tech offer or you don't pay us a single penny. That's our guarantee. So click that link below, book a call with me, and we'll see if it's a good fit for you. And if you're looking for some more YouTube videos to watch where I go over cold email, resume in more detail, YouTube's going to put some more videos up on the screen here, and I will see you soon.